don't know, it was like 7 hours or something. It was like 4 and 3 sessions, and I said, don't ever call me for this again, because he says, well, there are not many guys who can do this. I say, well, you just lost one, because I can't do that anymore.
And you need to pay him about 10 times as much, because you just ruined their throat for the next 6 months.
Yeah, that's right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've really turned down roles other than for the screaming factor. There have been situations where I've turned them down for that, or I have to turn down non-union work, unfortunately. There's a lot of really great jobs that I would love to do, and I have to turn it down now because the union won't let me do it. Other than that, as far as research goes for them, we don't really have that luxury. A lot of times we don't even know the name of the show we're working on when we go in. They just say you're going in here and you're going to be working at this studio with this director. We have no idea what the story even is before we walk in the booth. They give us a script, and 3 minutes later we're recording. So
a lot of that is for security purposes too. You know, they just want to kind of keep things under wraps, and they have maybe an alternate name or a name that you don't know. When it finally comes out, it's something that you're in, you didn't know the name of it. You know.
There's been things that I've worked on that later I was like, man, I wish I didn't do this. But half the time it's not like the character, but like I don't understand. Like I was doing a game, and the first day was fine, and the next day they had like these 2 other producers come in that wanted to direct as well, and so one of them was like, can you read that line happy? And then I was like, sure, yeah, whatever. And so I made it happy, and then the other one punched in, well, can you make that sad? And then they stopped and they were talking to each other, and then they punched back in, can you make that happy sad? And then I was like, well, you want me to read this line, happy, sad? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it, you know. But then it was like that the whole time, and I was like, are you guys kidding me? Just say, can you give me another one, please, you know, or something different, you know. But that's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
What did happy, sad sound like?
I don't remember the line, you know, and it was like, I don't really remember. I just did a different read, and they're like, oh, that's it, you know. And
which is probably the same read you did the very first one.
That's what it's saying.
You've done 40 different takes.
Yeah, and I did another game that was was it a game? I can't remember. It was a show. I don't know. But the guy made me do. We do, you know, when we go in there, the characters always go, you know, they do those little reactions. I had to do that 22 times. Like, it wasn't right. And I was like, I'm going to mark these down. And I counted afterwards, and I did 22 times. And then, you know, we say what a lot, too, in anime. And so there's like a line where I said, what? Right? My character says that. And then we just had to keep doing it, so I started marking down. I did 45 whats. 45 whats. Yeah, and after that, I looked at him, I was like, what? How many other ways can I say what? I was like, are you serious? I was like, I really don't think I'm right for this part. If you got to keep telling me, I did 45 whats. And I was really frustrated. But,
you know, there are people, when they're directing you, sometimes they don't really know what they want. They can't tell you, but they say, I'll know it when I hear it. So it's kind of like a catch-22, so you end up doing what 45 times because they don't know what they want, you know. I'll know it when I hear it.
So just do an electrocution death 46 times until we hear what we like.
Yeah. Oh, you know, on that same line, I dubbed a movie called Penitentiary 3, and it takes place in a penitentiary, and there was a character oddly enough. And there was a character. He was a little person. He was, I think, a Jamaican little person, and he had a high voice. So they decided, and he's all through the movie. Tony Geary was in it. And so, and he's a character that he flies. He actually flies, and so that it was kind of a weird type of deal. So he had these superhuman characteristics. So 3 days, and they scoured all over Hollywood to find. And chose me. 3 days, he starts off as an animal. He's like caged. And so you don't see him and you hear, okay, so, and then he evolves into a human. So 3 days I'm doing this for 8 hours a day. On halfway through the 3rd day, the director says, I was all wrong. He needs to be really high like a monkey. And I said, at that time, my voice was like down in my bowels.
I can't do a high screaming monkey.
You know, he says, you can't. He says, you're supposed to be, he said, you don't, because he didn't understand the nature of the instrument. You know what I mean? So, so I told him, I said, well, if you want to get a high screaming monkey, go get a high screaming monkey. Because I'm not doing it. But anyway, I guess you needed to hear that stuff.
I want to see it now.
Check it out,
I want to see
Penitentiary
it.
3.
It's a flying little person.
Yeah, it's a little
screaming
person and
monkey.
he flies.
That sounds amazing. That's got to be the coolest movie in the world. And he's Jamaican, you said.
He's Jamaican, that's why.
Hope there are no Jamaican folks in here. But
Rastaman, it's part of the religion.
yeah, the Rastamans. If you want a fun experience, you know, you can rent it or get it. Penitentiary 3. It's a fun film to watch. You'll laugh a lot.
That's right.
Or I'll come to your house and do the role for you.
Yes.
When you guys are voice acting, do you ever see each other, like in the booth, or like you guys are at the same time? Or is it like they get you guys going at different times?
Well, there's foreign dubbing, and then there's the original animation. So usually with the foreign dubbing, we are individuals in the booth. You know, we'll write notes to each other in the script. You know, Steve will say, "Hey, Beau, you know, you're still a jerk." You know, and somebody, Mary Elizabeth director said, "I think Steve left you a note."
I have to literally come to Florida to see Beau. And we live 10 minutes from each other. I never,
Right, we
ever
never see each other, right? But with the original animation, you know, like you're sitting around in the room and you see people and you can interact. Steve does a lot of that now.
The cast records are kind of fun. When you do have a big group of people, you do get to play off of them. And they take a lot longer because of that. Because pretty much every person in the room either does stand-up or is just some ridiculously funny person. And the directors actually have to tell us to shut up through most of the session. So it's a lot more fun and to actually get to see the other actors' faces and interact with them. But for me, I love anime. I love being alone in the booth with the director. For me, I feel like I can really cut loose and I get to concentrate on that one character without all of the distraction. And so I think that's why I keep doing anime. And one of the main reasons I keep doing anime. And it's that personal relationship with the director that you get to build also. It's different. It's really different.
And the fans.
And the fans too, yeah.
You guys are just absolutely the best. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you really are.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be here. If you know, we wouldn't come. You guys give us such love and support, and we're very needy. We need that.
Do you actually enjoy anime and video games? Like, can you enjoy it or and two-parter, what are you watching now?
Watching or working on them?
Watching. Like, do you actually watch it for fun?
See, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem for me. I don't have time to watch them. I haven't seen most of my work. I think I still have 2 more Bebop episodes to watch. And how long ago is that? I mean, I haven't seen it, and I'm a terrible gamer. I have to actually have people play me to my levels where my characters show up because I play a lot of bosses, and I stink. I'm a terrible, terrible gamer. So. Yeah, for me, I don't get a chance to see it, and the only time I really do get a chance to watch them is if somebody, you know, tells me I've got to see this show, or if one of my friends is in a show, I'll check their stuff out. But yeah, I don't have time. I'm working all the time. I go home and I have a booth at home and I record at night and I just pass out and start it all over again the next morning. So I wish I could watch more.
Same answer.